Confessions 6. If the crime of theft which I committed that night as a boy of 16 were a living thing, I could speak to it and ask what it was that to my shame I loved in it. I had no beauty because it was a robbery. It is true that the pears which we stole had beauty because they were created by you, the good God, who are the most beautiful of all beings and the creator of all things, the supreme good and my own true good. But it was not the pears that my unhappy soul desired. I had plenty of my own, better than those, and I only picked them so that I might steal. For no sooner had I picked them than I threw them away and tasted nothing in them but my own sin, which I relished and enjoyed. If any part of one of those pears passed my lips, it was the sin that gave it flavor. And now, O Lord my God, now that I ask what pleasure I had in that theft, I find that it had no beauty to attract me. I do not mean beauty of the sort that justice and prudence possess, nor the beauty that is in man's mind and in his memory and in the life that animates him, nor the beauty of the stars in their allotted places, or of the earth and sea, teeming with new life born to replace the old as it passes away. It did not even have the shadowy, deceptive beauty which makes vice attractive. Pride, for instance, which is a pretense of superiority, imitating yours, for you alone are God, supreme over all. Or ambition, which is only a craving for honor and glory, when you alone are to be honored before all, and you alone are glorious forever. Cruelty is the weapon of the powerful, used to make others fear them, yet no one is to be feared but God alone, from whose power nothing can be snatched away or stolen by any man at any time or place or by any means. The lustful use caresses to win the love they crave for. Yet no caress is sweeter than your charity, and no love is more rewarding than the love of your truth, which shines in beauty above all else. Inquisitiveness has all the appearance of a thirst for knowledge, yet you have supreme knowledge of all things. Ignorance, too, and stupidity choose to go under the mask of simplicity and innocence, because you are simplicity itself, and no innocence is greater than yours. You are innocent even of the harm which overtakes the wicked, for it is the result of their own actions. Sloth poses as the love of peace, yet what certain peace is there besides the Lord? Extravagance masquerades as fullness and abundance, but you are the full, unfailing store of never-dying sweetness. The spendthrift makes a pretense of liberality, but you are the most generous dispenser of all good. The covetous want many possessions for themselves, you possess all. The envious struggle for preferment, but what is to be preferred before you? Anger demands revenge, but what vengeance is as just as yours? Fear shrinks from any sudden unwanted danger which threatens the things that it loves, for its only care is safety. But to you nothing is strange, nothing unforeseen. No one can part you from the things that you love, and safety is assured nowhere but in you. Grief eats away its heart for the loss of things which it took pleasure in desiring, because it wants to be like you, from whom nothing can be taken away. So the soul defiles itself with unchaste love when it turns away from you and looks elsewhere for things which it cannot find pure and unsullied except by returning to you. All who desert you and set themselves up against you merely copy you in a perverse way. But by this very act of imitation, they only show that you are the creator of all nature, and consequently that there is no place whatever where man may hide away from you. What was it then that pleased me in that act of theft? Which of my Lord's powers did I imitate in a perverse and wicked way? Since I had no real power to break his law, was it that I enjoyed at least the pretense of doing so, like a prisoner who creates for himself the illusion of liberty by doing something wrong, when he has no fear of punishment, under a feeble hallucination of power? Here was the slave, who ran away from his master and chased the shadow instead. What an abomination! What a parody of life! What abysmal death! Could I enjoy doing wrong for no other reason than that it was wrong?